Hello, Internet. It's Sam Rubenstein here with After Campfire, and it's been a long few weeks. Um, I didn't get to post last week. I was supposed to. I really wanted to, but things got too crazy. For those that don't know this, last week was open house for Camp Lohican, so went up, hung out with some amazing people from camp. If you're friends with me on Snapchat, you probably got the snaps of me with Mark and Brittany and Isaac and John Simon, John Aronoff. The Wagners were there. Everyone and their mothers were there, and it was awesome. I love open house. It's without a doubt my favorite event of the summer because it's the official kickoff of the summer in Mark's eyes. So I always say it's of the summer, but my goodness, it's the most fun ever. And so I was gonna try and incorporate that in last week, but we got too busy with tours and all that fun stuff. So we just didn't get to do it. I'm sorry. I'm super sorry. So with that said, let's get this started. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? It's been busy. I'll say that again. I move out at the end of the month. I'm supposed to be going to present research in Boston at the end of the month. I'm also supposed to be going to the FFA State Convention at the end of the month to help out. I'm also supposed to be doing interviews with Montclair State University at the end of the month. And then I got stuff going on after that I'm not going to tell people about yet because I don't know who's watching, who's not watching, and who is looking for some fun surprises for the summer. I'll give you a hint. It's all a big secret. So I asked Henry 2 weeks ago about his ought self, his ideal self, and his actual self, and he was sort of not kind of correct, I guess. The ought self is who others view you to be, who they think you should be. So it's like when you're a kid, and your parents tell you you're gonna be a doctor when you grow up, and you're sitting there going, okay. So, your actual self is who you are now, and then your ideal self is the person you want to be. And those are the three ones, and the goal in life is to get your actual self as close to your ideal self as possible, while still acknowledging that your ought self is kind of somewhat important. So let's start with the ought self of who people expect me to be. I'm constantly expected to be this loud man that kind of is always there, if that makes sense. The expectation that people put on me is that I will be able to bring things up all the time, forever. It's the expectation that I've had since I was a child. And it's an expectation that I work pretty hard to meet. I like, because I enjoy it. I enjoy that kind of idea. But the expectation, the ought self of Sam, is most likely to be described as loud forever, boisterous forever, very, very good at solving everyone's problems, and fixing the world, which, isn't far off, which is the weird thing. The ideal self of Sam is really different, but not very different actually at all. Ideal Sam is there for everyone. Ideal Sam wants to save the world. He really does. He's the Sam that wants to fix everyone's problem. But if I can give you my ideal situation, I want to make people laugh, I want to help people, and I want to make art and smile and do research. There's no career plan. Let's just do research and art and make sciencey things happen, which is interesting, but different from, I guess, the ought self, because the ought self is kind of more forced, whereas the ideal self takes the actual self, I guess, into account more. Because actual Sam he's just all over the place. He wants to do everything and every like can't. I'm aware of it, and I know that about myself. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about that. Like I said, these past few weeks have been very hectic. They're gonna get more hectic. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. So, yeah. In regards to Henry's question, something I do that's embarrassing that I did when I was tired. I don't think anything. It's not because I don't do anything embarrassing when I'm tired. It's because there's not like a specific moment as like a kid where I was like, this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. I don't get embarrassed easily. At all. I think while tired, maybe I said the wrong name to someone. I sleep dialed people, once. I remember I was sick and they put me on some very strong medicine. And I had called some people and like asked some questions that didn't make sense. I remember one person I called, I asked if she knew about the clown that was sitting outside my window. And another person I called, I asked if they were a lizard. And that was about it. Like, I think that's hilarious. I think that's one of the funniest things that could have happened. But I don't know. So that's that. Yawns. Why did I just get yawning and tired? Alright, because I'm tired. I have to work tomorrow at 5 a.m. Am I right? Aha! So let me think. I had a question for you, somewhere. Oh, now I remember. So, yesterday was Free Comic Book Day. I got my free comics. I did all this cool stuff. And one of the best parts about Free Comic Book Day where I live is that they kind of make into a tiny version of Comic-Con. There was gaming sections. There was autograph areas where you could meet comic designers and stuff like that, like illustrators and authors for actual comic books. That was really cool. There was a section that had original props from Star Wars. There was a DeLorean, like from Back to the Future, all souped up. There was a kids robotics team oh, that's so cool. I wish I had a robotics team when I was a kid. Like that may have changed my life. I don't know. But they had all these like booths and stuff. But what they had that I enjoyed a lot was cosplayers. I love cosplayers. I love the concept of cosplaying. The question is, Henry, if you could cosplay as any character that you've never cosplayed before, get Jean Arc out of here. You've never cosplayed before. Who would you cosplay as and why? Alright, that's my question after Campfire. I'm very tired. I'm going to bed. Good night.